Hello and welcome to this week's Rangers Women's Supporters Group podcast. You'll see it's just me on screen as everybody else is busy this Sunday in the sunshine and enjoying some family time. So we'll have a shortened edition of the podcast this week. We'll quickly go through today's game at Broadwood where we enjoyed some rather surprising sunshine and it actually wasn't freezing cold today. We'll have a quick run through of the loan review, a quick update on our score predictor, and we'll have some post-match interviews from Joe Potter and Cathy Hill. But without any club news, the international call-ups were made. So we knew going into a game that Jenna, Nick, Jane, Chelsea and Sarah Ewens would be away with Scotland. Well, Rachel Rowe will be going away with Wales, Megan Bell will be going away with Northern Ireland, and Vic will soon be joining up with New Zealand Ferns for some friendlies in Christchurch, which will be brilliant for Vic being able to go back home for the first time since the World Cup last year. Today we lined up much as expected. Jenna Fife returned in goals with a back three of Cathy Hill, Tess Medag and Nick Dock, captain. Libby Banks returned in midfield for her first start of the year. She partnered Chelsea Cornet as Liv McLaughlin took her place on the bench for a rest. Mia McCauley, Brogan Hay, unsurprisingly out in the wings after her performance last week at Tynecastle, and Rachel Rowe played in behind as Jane Ross and Sarah Ewens played up front. On the bench are Lizzie Arnott, Liv McLaughlin, Jodie McCleary, Kirsty Howitt, Rio Hardy. Vic was on the bench. Ailey Austin and Lisa Martinez made up the subs bench. Now, game started and it looked like we'd need to grow into the game. It's the third time we've played Hibs in the month of March, so both teams are clearly getting more and more familiar with each other, and it's a scrappy game. I think it's fair to say that I think we played well in parts without really troubling Hibs' replacement keeper. The regular keeper Hibs have had this season, Nina Wilson, has been missing the game through injury. But a catalogue of mistakes and missed opportunities to clear the ball, so the league's top scorer, Jory Bockham, put Hibs 1 up, and that's how it remained by the time the referee blew his half-time whistle. It's probably one of the only times he got a whistle correct in the first half. We came out in the second half with one change. Liv McLaughlin came on to replace Libby Banks, and we started getting a wee bit more hold on the game. Further changes were made as a triple sub, so Lizzie Arnott, Rio Hardy and Kirsty Howitt replace Mia McCauley, Jane Ross and Sarah Ewens. Only when Jodie McCleary, though, came on for Rachel Rowe. Surprised some people that Rachel Rowe was taken off, but Jodie came on and made a big impact in the game. Well-known assists will be credited by the number crunchers to Jodie. She was involved in both goals. First, laying off to Kirsty Howitt, who squared for Rio Hardy to score. A familiar combination from early in the season, and it's absolutely wonderful to see that combination back in play. Now, we had the chance then to push on after having scored in 77 minutes to bring it back to 1-1, so it gave us time, and we pushed on, and shortly after, Jodie again involved, leading to Brogan squaring the ball for Cathy Hill. Centre of the goal, maybe about 6 yards out, finishes like a centre forward, and I don't think Cathy gives herself enough credit for that finish, but the celebrations were certainly filled with relief, and absolute delight that we came back. A very, very difficult game, and we did manage to see the game out with no further and real concerns. Rio Hardy was booked, which may be a slight concern. I'm not quite sure how close Rio might be to any danger of suspension, but it's one we'll try and keep a wee eye on. But Rio definitely was getting a bit of a rough deal in terms of some of the decisions against her. But absolutely brilliant to see Rio and Kirsty back playing together again. That's a massive boost for us getting into the sort of business end of the season. Or, as usual, on our Twitter page, on the supporters group Twitter page, is where you'll find the player of the match poll. We selected a short list of Brogan Hay, who had an excellent game on the wing. Cathy Hill scored the winner. She was absolutely excellent at the back, mopped up tremendously. And Tess, much the same. Tess is really suiting the central role in the back three. I think that's really suiting Tess's game, and Tess is showing for most of the season there. But my personal vote, obviously nobody here disagree with me, is Chelsea Cornet. Chelsea was outstanding, and it was largely the sort of dirty side of the game. That Chelsea had to do the hard work. The covering, the winning the ball back. Transitioning. A lot of the work that you maybe see more in the stadium than you do on the TV. So I thought Chelsea was outstanding today. Although the Twitter votes earlier are largely gone to Cathy, who I can't really argue also had an excellent game. But after the game, we did get a chance to speak with both Cathy Hill and Joe Potter. But as a match winner, I'll let you hear what Cathy said first.
In terms of the way that we won that game, how much do you think that'll be important for mentality and being able to get through a tough game like that and come from behind?
Yeah, Joe said that to us at half time. I think it's never going to be easy going into this stage of the season. Teams have got better. They've got better game plans against us. So yeah, I think mentality is a big thing, and as long as we believe that we can always get the winner, even if we go behind or we're drawn late on, as long as we've always got that belief, then we'll be fine.
In terms of your role, you're getting forward a lot more. How much are you enjoying that sort of freedom? Are you joining in the attack?
Yeah, it's obviously a bit different. I played fullback for years when I was at Durham, so it's somewhere that I have played sort of. Obviously, I've been mainly centre back for the last few years, so it's been a bit different. But it's something I don't mind doing. But first and foremost, I do enjoy defending. So if I'm back, that's where my strongest points are probably.
As a Rangers fan, it must be nice to score a winner in the 6-yard box.
Yeah, it's fun scoring any time, but yeah, especially in the big games at this point in the season, it's nice to contribute.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Obviously, that was Cathy Hill's thoughts as I spoke to her just after the game. Again, on behalf of the podcast, we much appreciate the access that the club grant us for the benefit of our podcast. So, it's a wonderful opportunity that we can't possibly take for granted. But after speaking to Cathy, I did get to speak to Joe Potter, and this will last for 3 minutes, so you have a listen to this.
Right, you talk about the staff. One of the best moments we've seen last week was every member of the backroom team actually celebrating the trophy.
Yeah.
How important is everybody, even the unsung heroes, been to where we are at this point in the season?
I think it's huge. We all work extremely hard every single day. And I say it every time, but everything's a collaborative effort. It's not just me making decisions on my own. I think that can be naive sometimes. I think when you've got people that can, sit away from it and bring different opinions and options to the table, and you can talk them out quickly and effectively and come to the same result of an idea, it's massive. And being able to use our staff effectively is going to be big for us, and has been big for us up to now.
Coming off the back of the success last week and playing on grass to coming back to artificial surfaces, can we play maybe more conditions? We've seen the ball run on for us a lot today, whereas it maybe held up last week.
Yeah, I think it's tough because you'd expect the complete opposite, because it's a dry pitch today. It's something we spoke about, that when the weather's like this, the pitch normally holds up a little bit more. So, the ball definitely runs different on grass to what it does on turf, and it's difficult to flip between the two. But we do that in training, so we should be more used to it. I think it was more about playing to our strengths today, as opposed to playing to the conditions and not coming away from what we do really well and have been doing well. So I think it's tough, but you know, it is what it is. And sometimes we play on grass, sometimes we play on turf. We're just got to make sure we're turning up and doing our game plan.
In terms of how hard fought that run was, is that a good way to bookend the international break coming up?
Yeah, it's big for us. You know, we go into the international break on top, which is huge. You know, it's where we want to be. It's where we have been for a long time now, and these can be the sticky games and the sticky points that could be, you know, defining in seasons. Everybody talks about playing Celtics and Cities, but these are the games that are big for me. We've got to make sure we do our work and, you know, not slip up where everyone expects you to win, because you take your eye off the ball. So this was a massive win for us today, and credit to the girls for having the character and the resilience to come back from being 1-0 down.
Last one. All season you've talked about next game's the most important, next game's the biggest. That can be sort of quite exhausting, you know, that intensity.
Yeah.
How do you work as a manager to make sure it's not exhausting and the players actually relish it?
Yeah, I just try to be consistent with them. You know, I think we're consistent throughout the week. We're consistent with how we approach our opposition and what we do in our work throughout the week. We don't change too much when it's so-called big opposition. We give everybody the respect that they deserve. So I think being consistent and putting a certain amount of pressure on the players that they don't crumble under, but they try to thrive under. They've got to deal with pressure. They know they've got to deal with big games, so we've got to make sure we're doing that day in, day out.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Joe.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
So again, Joe, brilliant at the time. You know, happy to answer questions from fan media. You know, and explain her thoughts on the game. You know, it's a great opportunity to get a wee bit of insight into Joe's thinking. You know, I was keen to ask about background stuff. You know, and it's very, very good to see last week when we were all celebrating and getting their moment in the spotlight. You know, I think those behind the scenes definitely deserve a shout out, because without them, you know, the players don't get the same opportunity to go out and perform on the park. So obviously, touching on last week, you know, last week Laura and Car were on the pod post winning the trophy, you know, and it was brilliant to see so many people there, and it was great to see so many back again today at Broadwood. You know, great to see new faces that, you know, we've always been part of the group but don't always see at the games. So it's great to see more people at the games, and long may that continue. Moving away from our own game, you know, looking at the loan review, both Megan Cunningham and Jenna Ferguson played 90 minutes for Partick Thistle today. They lost 3-0 at home to a Hearts team that saw Megan Bell come off the bench in the 66th minute to grab an assist. So, bit of a mixed bag for our lone players at Petershill Park today. But up at Lynx Park, Montrose won against Hamilton 2-1. Mason Clark's played 90 minutes up front, but was yellow carded during the game, and will come away a wee bit disappointed that Hamilton have not quite managed to get any points from that. It's a big battle for Hamilton at the bottom, trying to get away from that playoff place, but at least stay above bottom spot. Becca Taylor wasn't playing. Becca Taylor's still recovering from injury, and hopefully Becca's back soon. You know, that she will hopefully be back in after an international break. Motherwell, home at K Park against Aberdeen, won 3-0. 2 goals came from Laura Berry, who played 90 minutes. Absolutely delighted to see Laura doing exactly what we expect her to do, which is go and score goals, you know. And if Laura Berry's away playing football and scoring goals, I very much expect Laura Berry's going to be very happy with that. Kayla Jardine came on in the 66th minute to get another appearance for Motherwell. You know, Kayla's had a very good season on loan at Motherwell, and that loan's definitely been good for Kayla. Spartans, they were away at Dundee United to continue to struggle at the bottom of the table. Spartans ran out 4-2 winners, and Summer Laird coming on the 87th minute just to help Spartans see out the game. So Summer's game time is increasing as the season goes on, which is good to see. Hopefully she'll get more game time as the season goes. The last game in the league, so Glasgow City lose 2-1 at home. So we didn't have any lone players there, but it did impact on the score predictor, which I'll get to after mentioning Lucy Inman, who was on the bench for Queen's Park. as he won 2-0 at Lesser Hampden against Gartcairn. That's a significant result because it guarantees that Queen's Park will finish at no lower than second place in SWPL 2. So the worst case, they're getting a playoff place for promotion to the SWPL 1. But they're clear at the top of the league. Lucy Inman, while not playing every week, is certainly involved in what is almost certainly going to be a title-winning season for Queen's Park. They've been excellent this season. Lastly, on our score predictor, a mixed bag this week. Very few people expected Glasgow City to lose at home, but nobody got all 6 results correct. A few regulars missed out. Possibly away and busy over the Easter weekend have missed it, but the update is now on the Facebook page on the group, so check that out. Feel free to get involved if you haven't got involved before. Granted, you won't catch the leaders, but we put up an average point so you can just test yourself and see how you stack up against those high up in the leaderboard. As usual, we'll have merch at any games. If you see anything on the page that you like, drop a message to the group, and we'll see you at games. We'll always be there. We have put up a post on Facebook gauging interest on bucket hats as we get into summer, and perhaps bobble hats will hopefully stay in the drawer for a few months over summer. Check out, as I say, our Twitter page. That's where you'll find the player of the match polls. It'll last for 24 hours after we put them up at the end of games. Any sort of breaking news, we'll update our social channels on Instagram, Twitter, X if you prefer the modern branding, and Facebook. And we'll be back with a regular pod and hopefully a full team after the Glasgow City game in 2 weeks, which will obviously have a break over internationals, but that will be a very, very big game to look forward to. But that's all for me. That is a shortened pod as I'm on my own, so we'll see you soon and take care over Easter.